So now we are in the Python environment once again, and now we are going to write the Fourier law using Python. So the very first, but this time, unlike our previous videos, this time we are actually going to define a function because we are going to continue with the exact same code in our future videos as well. So it will also give you a chance to see what a function is. Now, what exactly is actually a function in Python? A function, which is defined as a diff, is a kind of a code that you can write up in a function called this one, heat conduction wall, for example. All the code that I write within the function is stored within it. So that means that if I would like to, I can write multiple functions in my Python library. And if I need to run them in the future, I just need to call that function by name. And then Python will run the entire code for me. It's very useful because, like I said, we will be using this code going forward for our future videos. So that therefore, if you are going to be reusing your code, then it's always a good idea to learn how to write functions. The very first thing we're going to write is we're going to write a print value, and I'm going to write that heat transfer, not heat transfer, but heat transfer through a wall. There we go. So that will be the print statement. And just remember that when you're writing the code within a function, you have to write an iteration or indentation, as they call it. And then we're going to write the user. And now we are going to write the, there we go. So I'm going to write the user input. And like I was saying, so just remember that when you're writing a code within a function, remember to put some gap. I think it's called indentation. That's the official word, or whatever, or remember to write it on the side. If you write it like this, the code is not going to work at times. So just remember that. So the very first thing is we need to define the K value. We need to define our the area, the temperature 1, temperature 2, and the L value. So for K, I'm going to write float, and then we need to write the input, and the input is thermal conductivity, K, and that is provided in m dot K. There we go. Again, float input, and that means the wall area, which is A in meters squared. And then we have float input, and that's the hot side temperature, T1. And for our cold side, we have input, and that would be cold side temperature, T2. And a space. And then for our L value, I'm just going to write float input, wall thickness, L, which we need in meters. So the user has provided us with the K value, which is the thermal conductivity. We have the area, we have T1, T2, and length. And apparently Python is showing us an error, but we are just going to ignore it for now. K, A1, A2. And then I'm going to write my Fourier's law, which is Q is equal to K times A times T1 minus T2, and that is divided by L. And then I'm going to write my output, which is basically just print F with the sign, with a backslash N, and I'm going to write heat transfer rate, which is Q, is basically our, and that would be Q, and we want that to be in 2 decimal places, and it has a value unit of the watts. So, and why is, did I make a mistake here, or F, nope, why is not giving it me the correct, why is it showing me an error? That is confusing. Oh, sorry, there we go. You're supposed to write semicolon and not the other one. There we go. So that's basically it, actually. So we have so this entire code that now I have written is actually our function. And instead of the wall, maybe it would have given more sense if I called it our Fourier law. So now we have an entire function where we need to call in this function, and this would calculate our entire and the Python would run this entire code basically. So just like in mathematics, when you define the f function, like f bracket x, x is the input and the function is defined as an equation or anything. So every time you put in the input into that function, the function calculates it and gives you a value. Just like that in Python, we have the function and we are inputting all these values, and it is calculating a value and it is giving us the output. Obviously, you can make a function as complicated as possible. You can obviously make it as long as possible, as complicated as possible. You can have as many steps as you like. You can even run a very simple function that just greets you every time you run it. So you see, a function is basically whatever you want it to do. But once you once you have written the code, and if I was to run it, nothing would actually happen. Why? Because we are not running it. On the other hand, if I was to now call out my function like this, it would actually start running it. So if I was to write my thermal conductivity, and let's say I write 600, area is 50, the hot side temperature is 100, and the cold side temperature is 25, and the meter is 10 meters, then we know that our heat transfer rate is calculated to be this. And that's basically us running the function. You can also, when you're writing some other calculations, you can also run the function within another function as well. So that also makes your life a lot easier. Like, for example, let's say that you want to only define all the values in one function, and you only want to run the calculations in some other function. You can actually do that as well. And that is something you'll see in our future videos, that we will keep referring back to this function. Because this is where we have stored all of our values right here. So that essentially is running the Fourier law. But one thing is that in one scenario, for example, you could have a problem in a way that, what if the user was to reverse the temperatures in your equation? Like if someone wrote the colder temperature in T1 and gave the hot temperature in T2. Let's very quickly run it so we know. So let's say I'm going to write Fourier law. I'm just going to write the exact same values as before. So 600, 50, but now I'm going to write 25, 100, and 10. So you see, now it is a negative, right? Obviously, you can still use that value in your calculation, because negative, it just reverses the heat flow, right? So if you do make the mistake, then you know that you end up getting the same value, but there's only a difference in the negatives. On the other hand, if you really want Python to tell you that no, that's a no-go, and we don't want the user mixing up the numbers, and we want the hot side temperature to be T1 and the cold side temperature to be T2, then what you can do is you can run an if statement. And the if statement does is that if my T1 temperature should always be more than T2, right? If T is 2, then we want us to calculate our Q value. Then I'm just going to copy paste this right here. On the other hand, else, if my T2 is less than is less than T1, then I want Python to tell me that you have reversed the temperatures. So kindly run the function again. Or sorry, not run the function, but kindly provide the input again, for example. And I'm just gonna change this to my Q value. And why am I getting an error? As a matter of fact, you don't actually have to write else. You can just write else like this. because what now we're doing is that we're writing if T1 is more than T2, any other condition. That means when T1 and T2 are even equal, or when T1 is less than T2, then you would actually end up getting this output. And that's an if statement. So now we're going to run it again. And I'm going to say Fourier law. And I hope I wrote everything correct. So now I'm going to write, let's say 100. And I'm going to write 50. Now my hot side temperature, let's say I write that to be 25. And I write that to be 100. And I write that to be 10. And I get an error. Oh yeah, sorry. I should have, because the thing is that when you are running the queue, I am running this code right here. So when I'm running the code here, obviously by the time Python gets to this line, it tells me that Python doesn't recognize what queue is. So essentially, I should have actually, it was my mistake because I should have moved that there. And I'm also going to write a N there so that there's a bit of a space. Yep, so there we go. So now we're going to run it one more time. And I'm going to write Fourier law. And now, once again, 100, 50. I'm going to write that as 25. I write that as 100. And let's that for 5. There we go. You have reversed the temperatures. Kindly provide the input again. So because now we know that the hot side is actually colder than the cold side. If I was to run it again, so that we have the correct order, then it's 100. Again, it's 50. Now it's 100. And that is a 25. And that is 10. There we go. And then Python is calculating and giving me the Q value. So you see, so you can actually use the if function within your functions and you can within your calculations to make sure that, especially in engineering problems, just like this one in Fourier law, or it even could be in the ideal gas law, it could be in any other equation that you're obviously working with, that the input that the user is providing has to fulfill a basic requirement. Like for example, if the user ends up providing a K value that is incredibly high or incredibly low, you can also put that into your Python to check if the inputs are indeed correct or not. Because obviously you can never be sure that the input, that the users would provide the correct input at all times. So therefore, it's also kind of a responsibility for you when you're writing the code, especially within simulations or material balances or even in calculations, that all the inputs are indeed correct. And you can do so by using the if statement, just like we did in this scenario. So that was actually all for this video, and I really hope that you learned something new. And if you may have any questions or any doubts, feel free to reach out to us at Chemical Engineering Life. And also do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Chemical Engineering Life channel for more videos. Thank you and have a great day.